So lately, Rockstar has been adding a bunch of odd jobs to GTA Online. Things like firefighter work, taxi driving, pizza delivery, stuff that doesn't really scream big money grind. And honestly, when you first see these, the obvious question is, who are these even for? Because if you're someone who already owns businesses, runs heists, has a kasatka, finished the contract, or just lives off passive income from things like nightclubs and safes, you're probably never touching these for money. You already have way better options. But when you look at it from a new player's perspective, or even someone who's early game and broke, these odd jobs actually make a lot more sense. If you don't own businesses yet, or everything you do own is on cooldown, most players just end up driving around doing nothing. And that's where these odd jobs fit in. They're simple, solo-friendly, don't require setup, and still pay something while you're learning the map and figuring the game out. So in this video, I'm not judging whether these jobs are good or bad. I'm breaking down what each odd job actually involves, how they work, how much they pay, and who they're meant for, so you know exactly where they fit in your progression. If this helps you understand GTA Online a bit better, feel free to subscribe. I upload GTA breakdowns like this pretty often. All right, let's get into it. So first up, we've got the firefighter job. And honestly, this one feels way more fleshed out than I expected. You start this either by going to the El Burro Heights fire station, or if you already own a fire truck, you can trigger it directly from there. Once you start, the game throws you into a set of 5 dispatches, back to back, all across Los Santos. Now here's the important part. Time matters a lot in this job. Each dispatch technically pays $7,500, but the longer you take to reach the location or finish the task, the more that payout slowly drops. So if you're cruising around or crashing the truck, yeah, you're literally burning money.
Each dispatch is random, but they fall into 5 main types. First one is vehicle fires. Usually it's an oil tanker or some random car already on fire. You just need to hose it down before it explodes. Pretty straightforward, but if you mess around, it will blow up. Then you've got dumpster or trash fires, which are smaller fires tucked away in alleys or industrial areas. These are quick, easy money if you reach them fast. After that comes structural fires, where you're putting out flames on the outside of buildings. Nothing crazy here, but these usually take a bit longer. So again, speed is key. One of the cooler ones is gas leak neutralization. You'll see a visible gas cloud, and your job is to deal with it. To actually stop the leak, you need to find a nearby valve and shut it off using a circular valve. This one actually feels a bit more role-play-ish compared to other GTA jobs.
And finally, the rescue missions. These vary the most. Sometimes it's a goofy cat rescue where you do a little quick-time event to coax it down. Other times it's a proper civilian rescue. These are probably the most interesting dispatches in the whole set. If you complete all 5 dispatches cleanly, you're looking at around 30K to 37.5K per set, depending on how fast you were. There's also a 5-minute cooldown, so you can't just spam it endlessly.
Long-term, there are some permanent rewards. If you complete 25 total dispatches, you unlock the Unwavering Firefighter outfit, which is honestly a nice flex. And if you finish all 5 different scenario types, you unlock the trade price for the MTL fire truck, which is actually useful if you want to keep running this job efficiently. Overall, this job isn't the best money in the game, but it's chill, solo-friendly, and surprisingly well-designed. If you're tired of constant gunfights and just want something different, this one's actually worth checking out.
Alright, next up is probably the most chill job Rockstar has added, and I'm not even joking. The forklift operator job at Alpha Male. You'll find this one at the Alpha Male warehouse near LSIA, and the whole job is exactly what it sounds like. You hop into a forklift and start moving pallets from the storage racks onto a conveyor belt. That's it. No shooting, no timers yelling at you, just pure warehouse work. What makes this job interesting is that there's no cooldown at all. It runs in an infinite loop, and you're paid per van you load, not per mission. So you can literally keep going as long as you want, or just stop whenever you're bored.
Each van requires you to load 3 pallets, and the cargo types can be things like antiques, counterfeit goods, hazardous materials, jewelry, or tobacco. The main thing here is don't smash the pallets. If you're sloppy with the forklift, you lose money. Base pay is around $4,000 per van, which sounds bad at first, but there are bonuses that actually matter.
If you do this job during the night shift, between 8 p.m. and 7 a.m., you get an extra $800 per van, which adds up faster than you'd expect. And if you manage to load 3 pallets of the same cargo type, you get a set matching bonus of $2,000 on top. If you're doing it cleanly, you're looking at roughly $25K to $30K for every 5 vans, which puts it in that slow but steady category.
There aren't a ton of long-term rewards here, but after loading 5 vans total, you unlock the Forklift Certified outfit. Nothing crazy, but it's a fun little badge that shows you actually did the job. Honestly, this is not a grind job. This is the kind of thing you do when you're burned out from heists, maybe watching YouTube on the side, or just want something super low stress. Not amazing money, but weirdly relaxing, and I kind of respect Rockstar for even adding something like this.
So next is the paper route job. And yeah, this is basically Rockstar letting us live out a proper retro GTA side mission. You start this at the Meteor office in Strawberry. And once you begin, the game gives you unlimited newspapers and their branded Dinka Thrust delivery bike. It even has the Meteor saddlebags on it. That said, you're not locked to the bike. You can actually do the deliveries in any vehicle or even on foot if you really want to suffer. The way the mission works is simple, but surprisingly tense. You're given 5 minutes at the start, and you need to make 10 deliveries. Every successful delivery adds 1 extra minute to your timer, so as long as you keep landing papers, you're constantly buying yourself more time. Each customer shows up as a yellow blip, and to complete a delivery, you just need to throw the newspaper onto their porch or driveway. You can do this while driving past or by stopping and throwing it manually. If you miss, you either have to throw another paper, so bad aim definitely slows you down. Money-wise, each paper pays about $1,250, and with tips and bonuses, the total usually lands between $17.5K and $25K for a full run. There are a couple of bonuses worth knowing about. If you use the provided Dinka Thrust, you get a brand bonus of $5,000, which is basically Rockstar nudging you to roleplay properly. And then there's a speed-based tip, where finishing with more time left gives you extra cash, so clean routes actually matter.
There's a 48-minute cooldown, which is basically 1 endgame day, so this isn't something you can farm non-stop, but there are long-term rewards. Completing 10 deliveries unlocks the trade price for the Dinka Thrust, and if you're crazy enough to do 50 deliveries total, Rockstar straight up gives you a $100,000 cash bonus. Overall, this job isn't about insane money, it's more about the vibe. It's simple, nostalgic, and kind of satisfying when you get into a rhythm. If you ever played the old Paperboy missions in classic GTA, this will feel instantly familiar, just with jet bikes flying past you in the background.
Alright, so this next job isn't brand new, but it does count as an odd job, and it's still very much relevant. The pizza delivery job from Pizza This. You can start this at any Pizza This restaurant around Los Santos, except the Daily Globe building in Winewood and the Winewood Plaza spot in Hawk. Once you start, you're put on a Pegassi Pizza Boy scooter, and if you already own one, the game actually uses your personal version, including any visual or performance upgrades. Small detail, but it's nice.
The structure is simple. 5 pizza deliveries, one after the other. The main mechanic here is the heat meter. As long as the pizza stays hot, you earn tips. And if you manage to deliver all 5 pizzas hot, you get an extra hot and fresh bonus at the end. Here's the thing though. This job isn't about raw speed. Driving like a maniac and crashing actually cools the pizza faster. If you drive smooth and clean, the heat lasts longer, which is kind of funny for a GTA mission.
If the pizzas go cold, you can still finish the deliveries, but you'll lose the tips and the bonus. And if you completely run out the timer, around 10 minutes, you're basically just delivering cold pizza for base pay. Payout-wise, each delivery gives about $2,000 plus $250 to $500 in tips if the pizza's still hot. A clean run usually lands you somewhere between $20K and $25K, which is solid for how short and low effort this job is. There's also a 48-minute cooldown, basically 1 in-game day, and each restaurant locks itself after you complete a run, so you can't just bounce
bounce between the same spot endlessly. Long-term rewards are actually decent. Delivering 5 pizzas hot in one run unlocks the trade price for the Pegasi Pizza Boy, and if you stick with it and deliver 50 pizzas total, you unlock the full Pizza This uniform, which is honestly peak NPC energy. Overall, this job is classic GTA. Simple, kind of goofy, and way more fun than it has any right to be. Not a money meta, but perfect if you want something quick, solo, and low stress. Plus, who doesn't want to role play as a delivery guy while oppressors fly overhead?
All right, moving on, we've got Safeguard. And this job feels the most like an old-school contact mission just dressed up as an odd job. You can start this from either a Gruppe or Bobcat security depot. And the setup is simple. You're given a stockade armored truck, and your goal is to drive it from the depot to a random drop-off somewhere in San Andreas. But of course, GTA being GTA, you're not doing this peacefully.
About halfway through the drive, you'll get a phone message warning you that enemies are incoming, and then you're hit with 2 waves of NPC attackers. Usually, they roll up in cars or bikes and just start unloading on the truck, trying to wreck it before you reach the destination. Here's the key thing with this job. Damage matters a lot. The cargo is marked as high value and fragile, so every bit of damage your stockade takes directly reduces your payout. You can stop and fight, but the longer you hang around, the more damage you risk taking. Personally, I've found it's usually better to keep moving and only shoot when you really need to.
The good news is there's only a 10-minute cooldown, and after finishing a delivery, you can immediately start another run at either company's depot. So this one's actually pretty decent if you want quick, repeatable action.
There are also some permanent rewards tied to this job. Completing 1 delivery unlocks the trade price for the stockade, which is nice, and if you finish 5 runs for Gruppe, you unlock the Defender outfit. Do the same for Bobcat, and you get the Bobcat Security Driver outfit instead. Overall, Safeguard is straightforward, slightly stressful, and very GTA. It's not the best moneymaker out there, but it's fast, solo-friendly, and scratches that protect the cargo while everything goes wrong, it's really well.
Next up is the Medical Courier job, which you start from QuickiePharm locations around the map. The game hands you a Sentinel GTS, and your job is to deliver sensitive medical supplies, sometimes meds, sometimes, let's just say, very important cargo. This job works in sets, usually 5 to 6 deliveries back to back, and just like the name suggests, the big rule here is don't crash. There's a strict vehicle health limit, and your payout is directly tied to how clean the car stays. Take too much damage, and that specific delivery just straight up fails. No retry, no mercy. Each drop pays around $4,000, and if you manage the whole set cleanly, the total payout usually ends up somewhere between $20,000 and $28,000. Not insane money, but solid if you can drive smoothly.
This job really punishes aggressive driving. Cutting through traffic, slamming curbs, or trying to ram NPCs out of the way will absolutely cost you money. The safest way to do this is honestly just take clean routes. Brake early, and don't get greedy. There aren't any outfit unlocks tied to this one, but there are vehicle rewards. Completing 5 deliveries unlocks the trade price for the Sentinel GTS, and if you go further and finish 5 full sets, you unlock a QuickiePharm livery for it. It's niche, but kind of a cool flex if you're into clean-looking cars. Overall, Medical Courier is one of those jobs that tests your actual driving skill, not your gun skill. If you're confident behind the wheel and want something that feels different from the usual chaos, this one's surprisingly satisfying, until a random NPC slams into you at an intersection and ruins your day.
So, yeah, taxi work is back. And it works pretty much how you'd expect, but with a few GTA Online twists. You can start this either by going to the downtown Cabco in East Winewood, or by using a personal taxi, or the Classique Broadway if you own one. Once you start, it's an infinite loop. No sets, no hard limit. You just keep picking up passengers and dropping them off until you decide you're done.
Each fare pays a base amount of around $1,000 plus a tip, and that tip depends on how you drive. Go fast, take clean routes, don't crash, don't smash into traffic, and the passenger's happy. Drive like a psychopath, and yeah, the tip disappears. What makes this job actually interesting is the sequential fare bonus. Every consecutive fare you complete without stopping increases your payout, and this bonus stacks up to 10 fares. Once you're at max streak, you can make up to $3,500 per fare, which is honestly not bad for something this chill. There's no cooldown at all, so you can hop in, do 3 fares, stop, come back later, totally up to you. It's probably the most flexible odd job in the game. There are also some nice long-term rewards here. As you earn more from taxi work, you unlock different downtown Cabco shirts, which are simple but clean.
Completing 10 consecutive fares unlocks the trade price for the Vapid taxi, and if you grind out 50 total fares, you unlock a custom taxi livery, which is honestly a pretty funny flex.
Overall, this job isn't about grinding money. It's about switching your brain off. If you just want to drive around the city, listen to in-game radio, and make some easy cash without stress, taxi work is perfect. It's classic GTA comfort food.
So yeah, that's pretty much every odd job you should actually care about right now in GTA Online. None of these are going to replace heists or businesses for making millions, but that's kind of the point. These jobs are more about variety. Sometimes you don't want to plan a whole setup, deal with griefers, or sweat through a cell mission. You just want to log in, do something simple, and still make a bit of money.
If you're a new player, these are great ways to learn the map and make cash without pressure. And if you're a returning player or solo grinder, they're perfect as filler jobs when you're waiting on cooldowns or just bored of the usual grind. Let me know in the comments which odd job you actually enjoyed the most, or if there's one you think is completely pointless. And if this helped you out, a like really helps the channel. And subscribe if you want more GTA Online breakdowns like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.